Yeah, that was a very difficult time for a while after I found that out, obviously. And it took a long time for me to come to grips with what happened. Every year I come home for Christmas,
Right.
I think but in those first, from 2001 through 2005, my parents would encourage me to go to the memorial in Shanksville,
Right.
the temporary memorial that was there. And they had went a year later. And, they showed me the pictures and everything. And it was really hard even to look at the pictures. And year after year, for the first couple of years, I just would not go. I was just like, I can't do it. I'm not ready to do this. And then finally, on the day after Christmas in 2006, my parents kind of, were like, we're going tomorrow. And I think you need to go. You need to go there and create some sort of closure. Maybe
Right.
not with Deora, but with what happened, you know what I mean? And start moving forward on that. So we went, and it was that in itself was very life-changing, because it was there where I guess you could say I reconnected with her, and it was kind of like this conversation we had per se, I'm staring out at the crash site, and at the time the temporary memorial was about 800 yards back from the impact zone.
Okay.
So
All right.
you're like looking out at this field, and it's the impact zone was closed in by a chain link fence, and the center of the chain link fence there was an American flag hanging on it, so it was kind of like a mark.
Right.
From so you're standing far away, and like inside that flag is
It's ground zero, literally.
Plane
Right.
crash. So I'm staring out at it, and that's when I had that reconnection with her, and it was like, all these, she was kind of, in her own way, kind of telling me, all these bands in San Diego, and you love music, like I love music. Maybe you should raise money to get this memorial built for us, and you can do it through getting bands together and playing shows.
Right.
And that was where that was the conception of the benefit shows, was at that visit. And then I started doing them that summer. In fact, our very first show to raise money was September 11th, 2007.
Okay, so about 8 years afterward. I'm sorry, 6 years afterwards. So.
Yeah, almost
Give or
6
take.
years.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
it was exactly 6 years.
Right, okay.
That was our first show. And since then, I've done, I could say 25. It's at least 24 shows, maybe 26 at this point.
Oh, wow.
For the Flight 93 National Memorial, raising money. I get local bands in San Diego to play. And,
Right. And there's a great music scene in San Diego.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
And the thing that's so great is not just the talent, but all the bands that have played the shows I've done, it really speaks to them as individuals.
Yeah.
And how they're so giving, none of these guys or girls that play the shows, none of them knew Deora, but they embrace her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. She's still a big part of this community. You know what I
Right.
mean? People talk about her in first name. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, we're here to support her and support her family. And they just really embrace her family. And so, it's like we're doing it in her memory, but we're also doing it for the memory of all the, the 40 passengers, the
Right.
other 39 passengers and crew on the flight. And so it's to honor their memory and their sacrifice and heroism,
Mm-hmm.
and ultimately raise money to get the memorial completed. So, citizens and people around the world can go there and really understand what they did that morning by going through the memorial,
Right.
So sorry, I feel like I'm kind of all over the place.
No, that's fine. No.
That tends to happen with me when I talk about this story.
Well, I know this is something that you're very
Structure.
passionate about, so that's why I asked you to come on.
My mind kind of races on this one. So, but anyway, so that was, to answer your first question, that was the genesis of the benefit shows, was reconnecting with her in Shanksville at the memorial site. And since then we've done about 24, 25 benefit shows. And very early on, when I was talking with Debbie, Deora's mother, we decided that I was going to raise money for a specific element in the memorial, which is what is known as the Tower of Voices. And it's this 93-foot concrete tower that will ultimately have 40 wind chimes inside of it. And each wind chime will make its own distinct sound. So each wind chime represents each individual passenger and crew member.
Okay.
But they will create music together.
Right.
And that is supposed to kind of symbolize their coming together.
Right.
In the face of adversity on 9/11.
Right.
So it's a really beautiful part of the element of the memorial. And it's still being worked on. The actual tower itself is done. And there's about 8 chimes, I believe, that have been installed. The other chimes are still being kind of fine-tuned per se.
Right, yeah.
Before they're installed. So like you and I were talking about on the phone, you know, if you come up with us to the memorial, we'll go to the tower first. It's kind of near the entrance, and you'll see what I'm talking about.